All right, back to you. Do you ever get worn out doing all this? Do you get ever worn out having to watch so much college football and so much pro football? Because you need to keep up with what the NFL teams need, obviously, who they are, what they're doing. Do you ever just get tired?
No, I'll tell you why, Skip. It's not because I have any great stamina endurance, because I don't. It's because of the time you have to regenerate. As soon as the draft's over, we do the draft grades. I start in May getting ready for next year. ESPN leaves us alone.
Yeah.
It leaves me alone, and it says, okay, take your time to get away, be with the family, just get away, watch some baseball games, do whatever you got to do. Go out on a boat, enjoy what you got to do, right? Enjoy life beyond football. So I have May, after I get the grades all done, all that's done. Next year, get a little look ahead to that. June, those months I'm looking at at my leisure, players for the big board for next year. So I use May, June, and July, and then gear up in August to do exactly. I'm still looking at players, but on my time, just to get ready and get that board ready for next year to the best of my ability. So you have those months, Skip, and then from August until May 1st, it's boom, boom. You know how it is. You've done it. You do it. Hey, Skip, you do it 12 months a year.
I do.
Okay? And you cover all these sports. You talk about me. I'm covering one sport. I'm covering college football players, and I'm doing it for 9 months where it's really the focal point, right? 9 months, 3 months to basically regenerate. You have no chance, number one, to regenerate. You don't have a night that you have to be watching something because you got to talk about it the next day. What you've done during your career, as far as talking all sports on a 365-day-a-year basis, is amazing, Skip. So I
appreciate that.
I applaud you. I respect you because I could never even fathom trying to do your job.
I'm obsessed, and I still leap out of bed every morning, and I go to bed late because I'm watching NBA playoffs.
Can I tell your fans a Skip Bayless story? I'll tell you because I remember we were at the hotel up in Bristol.
I remember this well.
Skip comes in. I just come back from doing a Sports Center segment. I was
eating breakfast, I believe, right?
Remember you're coming in from running. How many miles did you run, Skip?
I ran for 1 hour on the treadmill in the exercise room at the Residence Inn.
Right. Yeah. So you're running. You're doing whatever. You're out working out for an hour. You're coming in. You're basically that's where you're living, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're living.
I lived there for 10 years. I lived. Kept the room all year round.
From home. That's where you're living, and you're worrying about. You're going to be up late at night. You're going to be up early in the morning. You're working out. You're running over here. You're doing it. Like I said, I sit back and I can say this. You've been a friend for a long time. It's amazing. It's amazing. All the work and all the time and all the effort goes to do what you do and be as articulate and as informed and as accurate and as enthusiastic about it. And I'll ask you, when do you take a break? When do you get a vacation? I'll flip the script on you, Skip. When do you take a break? When do you regenerate?
I don't. And it drives my wife crazy because every night now we're in the NBA playoffs, which just eat her alive because it's just relentless game, night. Right. But I give her every second I can give her away from sports. I don't go play poker with the guys on Wednesday night. I play a little bit of golf, but I appreciate you asking. The point is that she knows, and I told her from the start when we were on our first date, if this goes anywhere, I told her you'll always be second to my work. And now she likes to say, well, at least I'm 1A, and I give her 1A. But I just live for it, and I love it. Right. The way you love football is the way I am 365. And to your point about the Residence Inn, they actually allowed me to put a dish in my room that I kept year-round up on the third floor, the top floor of the Residence Inn, so I could get all the games. Wow. I couldn't have made it without that dish. So
there you go. No,
thank you for that.
Do every day. Yep.
Okay. So speaking, you mentioned out on the boat. What do you do for fun? What's the number one escape for Mel Kiper? What in those months, those kind of quote unquote down months, what do you look forward the most to doing?
Spending time with the family, basically. Okay. Kim's here with me all throughout the day, 365 days a year.
How old is your daughter now?
She is 30, just turned 30.
Ooh, okay.
And we have an 8-month-old granddaughter, Blakely Grace, who's amazing. She's going to go going from crawling. We're FaceTiming with Lauren. She's crawling. She's adventurous already, and she's climbing. She's crawling. She's going right to pulling herself up and be walking before she's 10.
That's great.
She's doing great. So to spend time, and son-in-law Alex is coming with me along with his best friend Brett from college, from growing
Okay.
up. Brett's Penn State grad, loves the Giants. So Brett's coming with Alex to Green Bay with me. We're going to have, and then Lauren's bringing Blakely down with
good.
Tim to spend all the
Okay.
time down here while we're gone. So basically, it's the family. That Alex loves the water. I call him Captain because he loves all that with the boat. And just take time and enjoy the view. Enjoy going to the different restaurants. We got the best crab cakes down here, the best orange crushers down here on the island. So I go over to St. Michael's. There's a place called Foxy's over there who has the best orange crushes. Got the best food down here you can ever want from a seafood standpoint. And just enjoy it down here. And
What kind of
regenerate.
boat? Do you have a boat?
We do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a center console that goes from point A to point B pretty quickly, and gets them. We can get over St. Michael's in 20 minutes up to Kent Narrows, which was about a 10-minute boat ride up to remember Jody Schultz, outstanding linebacker, coming out of college at East Carolina, second round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day, like in 1983, 84 area. Jody is the mayor of Kent Island. Jody with Fisherman's Inn, the Dock House, a hotel down here as well. Jody does a great job. He's a great friend of ours, the Schultz family. So with Jody and all, we talk football all the time. Jody doesn't always want to. When I talk to Jody, it's not always about football. It's about what's going on down here. Yeah. But he was a heck of a football player. Really until he hurt his knee. Played for Buddy Ryan with the Eagles. So it's basically just spending as much time I possibly can with the family and having Blakely down here with Lauren and Alex, and we enjoy every minute of it.
That's good. You got a good life going. So, Mel, when you do go out to these restaurants that you mentioned, is it difficult for you? Do you get recognized and sort of accosted a lot? Do people want to ask you draft questions out in public?
No, not really. Because actually, when Brian was down here, Brian brought us to the Eastern Shore. Lauren actually had her first oyster with Brian and Kim Billick over at the Crab Claw. Wayne over at the Crab Claw in St. Michael's. The best place for steamed crabs in Maryland is the Crab Claw. And we go over there to St. Michael's and we sit there, and Brian took us over there with Kim, and Lauren had her first oyster, raw oyster, over there, and now loves them. But as far as what we do and where we're able to go and the restaurants, no. I mean, down here, it's really, we've been down here now for 8 years. So it's been great. And we know everybody just about, and the people down here are so nice and so welcoming that it's been amazing. But no, I mean, you'll get some people that, and we know everybody, and a lot of people come in, we've talked to over the years. So no, I can say down here, no. When we go up to Baltimore, like Timonium area and Hunt Valley, we'll learn out, we do up there a little bit, but nothing where, no, I would say no. And then people are respectful of what you're doing with the family, and wherever you go, they'll come over and hey, appreciate what you're doing. We're a big fan of what you're doing. Love watching you and the draft stuff. But no, I would say no, not at all, Skip. No.
Huh. Okay. Before I let you go, I got to ask you about your signature hair, which I think became a very important part of the Mel Kiper brand from day one, because it comes across, it makes you commanding and authoritative. How much do you see or believe or feel that your hair did for your presentation on television?
I don't know, Skip, because I just did what I did. In 84, it was long, if you remember. I remember Paul Zimmerman, we were waiting for the draft. We came down the day before the draft. And it might have been 87, 88. And we came down the night before the draft, and first thing Paul said, what are you, a leader of a rock band? Can you get the haircut? And so the hair was long. I remember people would say, get your haircut, get the haircut. And,
really?
And then Kim hated long hair, so she made sure it got cut. She did not like the long hair. She made sure it got cut. John Wildhack, who's now the AD at Syracuse, John. Yeah. John loved Kim because Kim was the reason it got cut. I mean, because she wanted it shorter.
Really?
And that's from that point on, it changed, and now you can see it's almost gone. Kim gives me this. Kim is the barber, and my cousin Denny Kiper is a great barber as well. That's who does me the haircuts, and it's thinned out to the point where if I have any left by 2030, I'll be pretty amazed, Skip. There's any left by 2030, but it's hanging in to the best of its ability, I guess, if you want to call it that. It's taking on a life of its own, basically. I didn't understand it back in the day. Why did we talk about the hair? It was certainly nothing's. It just slick the back with the little LA looks and spray it, and it never moved. There was an 80-mile-an-hour wind. It wasn't moving, but it was no big deal. But people act like the hair. I never understood where that was coming from, but it was what it was at the time.
Hey, Jimmy Johnson had the hair, and Mel had the hair early on.
Jimmy's got great hair. Yeah, I was with Jimmy at the draft. Jimmy's hair is still going strong. Mine, unfortunately, is not.
Well, but still looks really good. And back in the day, you had it sort of bouffant it up.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of
It
great
was out of
hair,
control,
man.
Skip, is what it was.
Yeah, way to go, way to go. So how much longer do you want to do this, or do you even think about it?
They always say when you start thinking about it, you really are, right?
Yeah,
I don't really
agreed.
think about that aspect of it. I always think about what I try to do, and Kim and I would talk about it a lot, is what do you love to do? And every time we talk about what I love to do, it comes back to doing the draft stuff. Love doing all the .com stuff with Ben Arledge, does a great job, and Dane Beavers. The ESPN guys are phenomenal to work with. They make life so much easier for us. And then the radio, always love doing the radio, love doing Daria and Mel, love doing the segments I do all week on all the different shows. And I love the TV segment part. But what I love the most is the First Draft podcast. We started that. It's going strong with Field Yates and Greeny. I love doing that. Skip, you know all about that now. It's twice a week. It may expand. Who knows? I'd do it every day if I could, because I love just talking with Field and Greeny about the draft and football and whatever we want to discuss. So we have the Orange Crusher segment, which is the football. I call it an Orange Crusher segment. We do all kind of different things. So at the end of the day, everything I'm doing, Skip, when I really looked at what do you enjoy doing the most, it was everything I'm doing. So until that changes, I'll keep doing it until ESPN says, hey, we're going to move in a different direction, or you're no longer needed here. So until that time comes, we'll just keep going along. I have 3 more years. This is the first year of the 3-year contract moving forward. So we're going to be in Pittsburgh next year. We'll see where we are the year after that. And then everybody will reassess things at that point in time when I'll be nearing 70. Skip, I don't even want to think about that. But when that time comes, I'll figure it out, and they'll figure it out, and we'll come to an agreement.
Mel, you still have extreme enthusiasm and energy for this job, and I see no end in remote sight here. You could be 80, you could be 90, and and I know you're still going to be on fire with this.
I appreciate it, pal. You're the best.
Yeah.